what's up, guys? Welcome once again. We've got my really good friend, Keegan Amorim. We go back how many years, dude? And we all go back how many years?
Like 10. No, gotta be more than 10 years.
I mean, it's gotta
maybe
be at least
8,
10.
8 to 10.
It's 8 to 10 or more.
Like Copa days, yeah. So
Yeah,
that's gotta, yeah, like at least 8 to 10 years. Yeah.
It's crazy.
Easily.
And since then, man, you've been killing it. So Keegan has been super busy with the whole Dubai circuit, absolutely killing it. I think you're probably one of the guys in South Africa that have done the best in that market, I would say. I mean,
Living it.
you've been there forever. How many years is it now?
It's been about 8 years, since the age of 21. So yeah, about 8 years constantly working there. So yeah, it's been a blessing,
That's amazing. And how is it seen there? Still pumping, still thriving?
So yeah, the thing why it works there is because there's so many venues. And every venue's going to have entertainment in it. Every venue will have a band and a DJ. And that band could be a full band, or it'll be like a duo or someone playing guitar or things like that. So why it works so well, like I said, because they have so many venues, bro. And they're keen to put live entertainment everywhere. So it helps for people to do contracts. And there's constant work. And there's so many places that it can just constantly rotate. And yeah, that's why it does pump that side. Yeah.
And they actually keep all those venues full.
Bro, and that's the thing. What I don't realize, I'm like, don't people have jobs because they're in a club drinking beer and dancing every night? I'm like, but yeah, people. That's the thing. That the lifestyle. Everyone lives, in the nightlife. There is just so ridiculous. I think maybe it's also to do with the weather because it's constantly hot. It's never raining. You're in the desert. So with all the hotels and the weather just being good, everyone's outside, everyone's constantly partying, going out, drinking, socializing. So
what a vibe.
Yeah, the nightlife, you can just imagine.
That is killer. And how did you get into that whole thing? So that's the one piece of history I want to know. Is like what made you decide, first of all, to go into doing the Dubai thing, and then how did it actually happen? Because I watched your video you sent me.
Yes.
Like the whole journey, and it's quite a cool story. So from deciding right up until how you went about getting it and then pursuing it, basically.
Yeah, so pretty much how it started was actually I was in contact with an agent. His name was Morris Fresco, a South African guy. And he told me, hey, there's this lady looking for a drummer that to do a hotel gig in Abu Dhabi. So I heard about that. So I was like, okay. So I met with this lady. We had a chat and she told me, okay, this is the deal, this is how it works, blah, 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 blah. And I said, okay, cool. We had rehearsals, and then next minute I knew we were on the flight going there. So,
Nice.
I mean, obviously that it sounds so easy. Oh, I just got a call from an agent. Not everyone's going to have that opportunity, but there are a lot of agencies. There's like L Live Productions is a big one. If you can just Google L Live Productions, they're always asking. And then what you do is they'll send you like an audition thing, which will say, okay, make a video of you playing these songs. They'll send you the backing tracks or whatever. Okay. And then they'll see how you play on a video. They'll do an assessment. Then they'll do like a Skype interview. And then from there, if you get hired, the most important thing is if you get one gig, you can get more, because once you're there, it's so much easier. It's to get there. That's the hardest part, because a lot of people message me or like on my Instagram or my Facebook, or they'll comment like, man, I really would like to do that. How would you do it? And it's not as simple as just saying, just contact the agency. I know it's all about like timing and this and that. Obviously everyone's life is different and things happen, but what I would say if people are listening is that definitely check out a company called L Live, and there's all these groups on Facebook. Like musicians for work overseas, musicians looking for work for cruise ships, musicians looking for work in the UAE, in Abu Dhabi, in Dubai, nightlife in Abu Dhabi, nightlife in Dubai. There's all these Facebook groups.
Whole community. Geez.
Yeah, there's a whole community, and guys are constantly posting on there. And then if you also content, you have to have content.
Right.
Have good videos of yourself playing, not a sorry to say, not a shitty little video on your phone with bad quality and bad sound. Have good content, Have a passport. Guys want to travel, they don't have a passport.
Exactly.
They don't think about these things.
Yeah.
It's not just about being a drummer. You got to be like a businessman, a hustler. You got to be all of these things. And I think like they don't teach you that in life until you get a bit older,
Yeah.
So what I would say is network, and that's within any industry you're working in, and definitely online, the internet, Google. Like work for a drummer overseas, and you will see on Google literally all these websites will come up, and then you got to just pump your stuff there. And you know what? Maybe you'll send 50 emails, and 49 people won't reply, but the 50th person will, and that's one opportunity you had that you didn't have.
Yeah.
So that was pretty
100%.
much was my story, is that I heard about this small opportunity and I could have said like, oh no, and I had to travel some dodgy place in Joburg to meet this lady that I didn't know. But then next minute I'm on a flight to Abu Dhabi. You know, so I think it's also just about putting yourself out there, you know, and being ready. Like I said, have the passport ready. Have your content of you playing some covers. Have a little bio of yourself, a small press kit, you know.
Yeah, man.
And you can put those together easily.
Yeah.
Nowadays, if you have a good phone
Yeah.
and a computer, you can do it
Absolutely.
yourself, you know.
Yeah.
So that's pretty much how I got the thing was just I got a small chance and I acted on it. Then from there, so we did a contract. We did the first contract. It was in a hotel in Abu Dhabi for 3 months. And like I said, from there we networked. Another F&B manager from another hotel came and saw us, asked us for our contact details. And from there we moved to Dubai. So we did Dubai for 6 months. From there, another person from a hotel saw us. They came to see us from Malaysia, actually. And then we went all the way to Malaysia. We played at the Hilton in Zidabar.
Okay.
So like all these opportunities happen on the road, but that'll also happen just playing here locally, you know.
Yeah.
You're playing with an artist, someone else sees you,
Yeah.
you're playing with someone else. So pretty much that's a small story of how I got there initially. And then I was actually just working with South Africans for a while. And as things go in bands, you know, you kind of want to branch out and you want to do different things. And I actually met an American guy by the name of George Sotelo, and he was putting together like a 9-piece international band.
Sure.
And that's actually when things changed for me, you know. Before, I was working with South Africans, but you know, another thing about what I find about musicians is, okay, look, obviously you have to have a standard that you work for, and you have to like know your worth and all those things. I'm all for that, and I agree
Right.
with that 100%. But also, guys are so picky about where they play, who they play with, or this and that. It's like, you know what I mean? If you play in and you're covering your costs and it all works out, then what is there to complain about? You know what I mean? For instance, on my first contract, I was sharing a room with a guy.
Yeah.
You know, I could have complained, I could have said no, but from me just taking that small thing, saying, okay, I'll deal with that. It's not the best, but I'll
Exactly.
deal with it. I'll share a room. But from there, I got to where I did eventually in my life, you know. So it's also about just, I think, just picking your fights or picking your battles at some point.
Paying your dues, man.
Exactly, you know, paying your dues. Exactly,
That's literally it.
that's exactly you hit it exactly. I met this guy George, and like I said, he was putting together an international band, and that's when things changed for me. Because then I was like, I had a bass player from Colombia who knew all these Latin rhythms, and not like Latin rhythms that we've learned them here, like the real deal, you know.
Yeah.
And then I got this guy from Indonesia, you know, and he's got his vibe. And then I got all these guys from New Zealand and Australia and the UK, and everyone coming with their flavor. And here's Keegan
that's
from
cool.
Edenvale, like, oh, you know, really nervous, but it was such an experience, you know.
Yeah.
And now from there, I would, like I said, I've just been lucky. From there, the tides turned, and like I said, from being on the road, you get more contacts and you get more gigs.
Sure.
So that's pretty much the story of how I got there. It was
Amazing, man.
I got it through an agent, but like I said, nowadays it's easier because like I've been there for 8 years, but now I see there's all these groups that I mentioned earlier.
Yeah.
So you can literally just go on Facebook, Instagram, or Google, and the stuff is there. And then just submit your content. And like I said, 49 people might say no to you, but
Exactly.
the 50th person might say yes. So you got to try. You got to get up every day and say, if you really want to do, like what I want us to do is go on the circuit, put it out there. Take a board and write, I want to play overseas. And then go after that every day. Do what you got to do, you know, like message people, network, go out and see bands, put things together, make videos, send them out, go see venue owners, message hotels, you know what I mean? Go get a list of hotels, get the F&B managers' contacts, and just send them emails. And like I said, 49 people might say no, but the 50th one might say yes.
Exactly.
So I think also at the end of the day, yes, I was lucky, I was blessed, but also I put that out there and I went for it at some point. And I think
Exactly.
that's what people also have to do in all aspects of life, you know, not to rant on too much, but yeah.
No,
No,
100%.
But yeah.
It's perfect. And like what you mentioned there is what we've spoken about a lot is having perseverance and patience.
Patience.
We're
dude.
trying to
Yeah.
we're trying to nail that on the head because I think especially in today's time, like who we were speaking to with Leroy as well. It's like
everyone,
everyone that's been in here we discuss this is like
Love
it's
Leroy.
become so
Such a like
he's good.
Shot
dude.
Lee.
He was also saying it's like everything is McDonald's. Like
Yeah.
I've also written this article for
Fast
the new
food culture.
issue.
Easy.
Yeah,
That's what people want.
Easy, convenient, fast, it's there, but it's actually the
100%.
worst thing for you.
Yeah.
exactly.
It's like
So there's-
poison. Yeah.
Yeah. So even though you say you were lucky, but I also, you weren't lucky because you
Yeah,
worked.
exactly.
You're the one sitting, putting out these emails and waiting for that response. Nowadays, a guy will send out 5 mails, doesn't get a response, and they're like, "Oh, it's not actually going to work." And man, that's so refreshing to hear. It's like,
Exactly.
you
Even
just keep going.
Exactly. Even being back here now because of the whole pandemic situation. Like, I didn't just sit around and be like, oh, now I'm back home. I lost my job. My apartment's there. I'm separated from my chick. No, I said, no, I'm gonna use this time. I've practiced every day. You know what I mean?
Man.
I sent my promo out to all the guys here in SA. I said, look, if you're looking for a drummer, this is what I've done. This is my promo, blah. And look, now I've been gigging since things have opened up. So it's not that I think I'm the best drummer or I have some ego. No, I don't have any of those things. It's just like, if you want something in life, just go for it and work for it.
Yes.
And it's not like you said, it's not always going to work in your favor, but perseverance and patience. And like you're saying, paying your dues. Like, another thing I want to touch on is like the first contracts I did, we played 3 months with no night off. No nights off.
Heavy. And
7 days a week.
7 days a week, And you know what? I was like, but I wanted to be there. I wanted to do it. I wanted to play drums every day. I was 21 years old. I wanted the experience. Now I'm 30. It's different. But yeah, if you're 18, 19, 20, why not?
Exactly,
Why not?
dude.
Yep.
Who doesn't want to play drums 7 nights a week? In my case.
Yeah, dude, totally.
You know what I mean? But it just depends on your situation and what you want, and that's what I wanted,
Yeah.
Yeah.
How bad you want
Yeah,
it.
Exactly,
Kind
yeah.
of touching back on what Warren said. Like, dude, you were willing to do that, right? Working 7 days a week, playing yourself to the bone.
Yeah.
But now we get these kids who go, I want this, message 5 people. But instead of just being like, oh, it didn't happen from these 5 people, they don't go like, oh, give up. They literally message those 5 people again and then insult them. Then
Yeah.
attack
No,
them.
no,
That's
no.
the worst thing
that's
we
what's
get now.
That's
So
the worst thing.
You get people who don't want to work for it. They want it handed to them. And when it's not handed to them, they go on this weird offensive.
Yeah, like, you guys don't support
That's,
you.
yeah.
It's like,
That's
an-
an
strangest
that's
thing.
sorry, that's another thing I want to say. Every single gig I have gotten in my life has not been because of the way I play the drums. It's not. It's because
Yes,
of my attitude
let's hear it.
towards people.
There we go.
Every single one.
That's it.
Because you know what? I know I'm not the best drummer. I know I'm not the fastest. I know I don't have the best timing. I know I don't have the craziest fills. I know I don't play all the styles amazing. I do what I do to the best of my ability, and I love it. And obviously, those people enjoy it as well. But besides that, I mean, you got flipping Dave Weckel and all these oaks out there. So it's just, come on.
Yeah.
But just being a nice person got me every single gig I have.
Yes.
Every single relationship I have, every single gig I have gotten in my life is just from being a good person and just being nice and just not like complaining or just being rude or whatever, just being a normal nice person. And that's in
Spot on,
any
man.
industry you work in,
Yes.
not just music.
Yes.
Exactly.
Your mom or your dad doesn't go to work and be like a dick to their boss or whatever, and they think they're going to get away with it.
Yep.
But musicians think they can shout at a sound engineer or complain and this and that and shout at a venue owner when the money's no, you got to be professional and you got to know how to speak to people.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? That's something that's so important, is that attitude is everything. And I know it's so cliche. It's so cliche. You'll see all these things, all these motivational quotes. Attitude is everything. Positive life, blah, blah, blah. I know it's so cliche, but it's true.
Yet some people don't get it.
You know, it's so
That's
true.
the
It's
thing.
right in your face and everyone's like, oh, it's so cliche, but it's true.
Yep.
Yeah, and I'm a great player, so it doesn't matter.
Matter.
Dude, 100%.
You know what I mean? And that's
Yes.
why, when you meet these guys that are like next level, it's like you'll meet Aaron Spears, you'll be like, and you'll meet him and you'll be like, oh, he's so nice.
Yep.
He's just a human, just like me. Wow. And he'll tell you the same thing probably. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? You're always so surprised when you meet these superstars. Like,
And they
you put them on a
chill, dude.
pedestal and they're always the most humble.
Yeah.
And it always reminds you like, yo, I should be humble.
Yeah,
Because
Yes.
that guy just like blew my mind and he's
Yeah.
so humble.
exactly. It's crazy. Like, we've discussed that, even with a lot of international guys we speak to. And I've had to sit and think about it. Like, why are these guys more humble with all their accomplishments?
Yeah.
And they're way more humble than guys with...
They don't have to be humble. You're like, dude, please don't be humble.
Yeah.
Don't.
Yeah.
You're so good. You should not be humble.
I think it's because they know what they've accomplished. And they don't have to portray that to you.
Yeah.
I've tried to sum it up.
They
in
got
my
nothing
head.
to prove.
They don't have to
nothing to prove.
convince you of
They've done their
anything,
work,
man.
they've paid their dues,
Yeah.
they've worked hard, and I respect those guys so much. Where they've done everything, but they're just so humble. And why is that? Especially with doing SA drama, like meeting all these international guys, I'm like, why are they so? It's like a different level of humble.
Yeah.
It's
It's
very-
a different level of humble. The energy they have.
Yeah,
It's
And
almost like this calming. Like
Yeah.
to be around someone like that,
Right?
it's hectic.
Yeah.